Thank you, La. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here among learned scholars. I'm very pleased to share some of my knowledge on Pema Lingpa's revelation with his biography. So the topic of my presentation is importance of tertiary literature in Vajrayāna Buddhism with special reference to Third Pema Lingpa's revelation. Tertiary literature. Dharma is a concealed tertiary literature popular in Tibetan Buddhism, especially prevalent among Nyingma school. In fact, the Dharma tradition is known as Ngeju Dharma, which is believed to encompass the shortest and most direct approach to attain Buddhahood. Dharma literally means treasure. In Dharma tradition, there are two different kinds of dharmas. Earth treasure and profound mind treasure. The earth treasure is a treasure that has been concealed under the ground, in a lake, a rock, or another physical location entrusted to the respective treasure guards like nagas and local deities. It can be either religious texts, mostly written in Dakini scripts, or various kinds of religious objects such as statues, vajras, kilas, or skulls, which are subclassified as material treasure. Those hidden treasures were concealed by Padmasambhava, his consort Zhichenkhar, and Padmasambhava's 25 disciples during the 9th century or later. They are rediscovered by qualified masters, known as Tertans, at appropriate times. The profound mind treasure is inserted in the mind of treasure revealer in a letter, in a symbolic form, or in the form of a sound, which the treasure revealer rediscovers through the power of the meditative state and is able to comprehend its symbolic or apparent entire meaning. Treasure revealer. The term Tertan characterizes a realized master among Buddhist practitioners, especially in the Nyingma school, who has been prophesied to be a revealer of a treasure by Padmasambhava in the Chronicle of Padma, or other earlier masters who have concealed treasures. There are hundreds of Tertans in Dharma tradition. The greatest among all are popularly known as 5 king treasure revealers. And there are Yangril Nyima Yuse, Guru Chugi Wangchu, Doji Lingpa, Pema Lingpa, and Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo. Among 5 king treasure revealers, today I am going to present on the 4th one, Tertan Pema Lingpa. Pema Lingpa, the foremost of the 5 king treasure revealer, is a highly respected master in the Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism. The origination of Pema Lingpa traces back to Princess Pema Sel, a daughter of King Trisong Dechen of Tibet in 8th century. The princess was a disciple of Padmasambhava, the great Indian tantric master who brought tantric teachings to Tibet. Princess has received many profound teachings from Padmasambhava when she was 5 years old. At the age of 8, she was stricken by severe illness, and the king consulted Padmasambhava, who in response blessed her with many essential teachings. Padmasambhava narrated a story from her previous life, which was causing her death now, and prophesied that the princess will experience 5 impure births to purify her previous harmful action, and 7 pure births for the welfare of all sentient beings, with the last one to be born as Pema Lingpa. Shortly after the prophecy, the princess passed away. The princess then experienced 5 impure and 7 pure births as per Padmasambhava's prophecy. Pema Lingpa was the last one among them. Pema Lingpa's birth was prophesied by Padmasambhava in the Chronicle of Padma, as you see on the screen. Sorry. On the 15th day of the second month in the iron male horse year, Pema Lingpa was born with many auspicious signs to Yap Tentup Sangpo and Yum Pema Tema at Chelbury Brang in Pumthang. Soon after his birth, his mother gave birth to another son, and due to insufficient breastfeeding for both of them, Pema Lingpa was sent to Manigyamba to his maternal grandfather, Inten Changchup, a blacksmith. Lama Chuingpa, the son of Terten Duji Lingpa, named him Ugin Pema Lingpa, and Lama repeatedly asked the grandfather to take care of the little child, as he will serve the great number of beings in the future. Pema Lingpa was endowed with extraordinary talents from his childhood. While living with his grandfather at Manigyamba, he effortlessly learned everything, including reading and writing, as well as ironwork, machinery, carpentry, without receiving any instruction. Some of his works are preserved scattered around Bhutan. This wooden mask and chainmail is preserved in Tamsing Lagang in Pumthang, and the iron pan is still used in Bhutanese home to make buckwheat pancakes. We say kule in local dialect. And the water mill is also still used by the local people in Thangbi in Pumthang. Sorry. Coming back to my main topic, according to the traditional account of Pema Lingpa school, Padmasambhava's prophecy listed 108 treasures to be revealed by Pema Lingpa. But due to karmic exhaustion of sentient beings, he revealed only 32 treasures. Nevertheless, the tradition believes that the core essence of the entire 108 treasures were summarized in 32 treasures which he revealed. Pema Lingpa's career of revealing treasure began when he was 27. The first treasure he revealed was the text titled The Quintessence of the Secret of Clear Essence, Longsul Sangwang Yingchu, one of the most important texts. It was revealed in a stage of trance. The biography has it that in 1476, Pema Lingpa was given a paper scroll by a mysterious figure on which it was written, I quote, "A share of your property is at Naringta. On the night of the full moon of this month, go with 5 friends to get it," unquote. Following the prophecy, Pema Lingpa went to Naringta with 4 companions. Immediately, Pema Lingpa fell into a trance and leaped into the water nude. As soon as his body touched the water, a door opened, and he went through the door into the cave called Glorious Long Cave. He was then greeted by a one-eyed woman who was dressed in a maroon attire. She handed over him a leather box and told him to run back. As he was running, he was suddenly blown out of the water onto the bank of the river. Pema Lingpa kept the treasure box for a few days, as no one had any idea what it was about, as the text was in Tamil script. After repeatedly looking at it, Pema Lingpa found a way to read it. He discovered it to be the text of Longsul Sangwang Yingchu, and also found that the text mentioned that after a period of 3 months, the transmission of this text should be conferred. He then began to transcribe it. His contemporary, Lama Rinchen volunteered to sponsor the preaching, but Pema Lingpa realized that he had no idea on how to confer the teaching, nor its practices, nor many other things prescribed in the text. On one night at Kunzangling, a woman in a central Tibetan costume, claiming to be Shitsogel, appeared in his dream and started to teach him every night the rhythm for the hymns, the choreography of the dances, the transmission procedures, and everything else that was needed for the transmission. Pema Lingpa followed all the instructions given by Shitsogel and turned the wheel of Dharma for 21 days, which successfully initiated the transmission of the sacred teachings and practice. Longsu Samwang Yingchu was the most prevalent teaching during his days. So this is the picture of Naring Ta. Naring in local dialect means long nose. So you can see the picture over there. The second revelation was one of the very well-known revelation of Pema Lingpa due to the repetition of his earlier revelation. Pema Lingpa gathered a good number of followers, but there was also a lot of criticism and rejection from the society. In fact, on the 24th day of the Boer month, Thupa, the governor of Chukor, gathered a large crowd at Naringta and challenged Pema Lingpa, saying that he would either reward Pema Lingpa if he could prove himself to be a genuine treasure revealer, or he would punish him if he failed to do so. So before the crowd, Pema Lingpa swore, saying that if I am some evil emanation, may I perish in the water. If I am a hard son of Guru, without extinguishing this lamp, may I return having discovered a beneficial dharma. Having said this, he leaped into the water with a lamp in his hand. Everybody was shocked. Pema Lingpa then amazed the crowd, appearing suddenly with a statue of the Buddha and a skull filled with nectar in one hand and the butter lamp still burning in the other. This established Pema Lingpa as an authentic treasure hunter, and the lake got the name Burning Lake, Meverso. This revelation became one of the most well-known among his discoveries, and the site is one of the most visited places in Bhutan now. So this is the picture of Burning Lake. Among Pema Lingpa's 32 revelations, 3 treasure texts are considered as the core teachings of Peling Dharma cycle, known as Lazok Tuksum, Lama Nurbu Jamso, Tsokpa Chimbo Kinza Kongba Kindu, and Tukji Chimbo Minsil Dume. These texts are held in high esteem. Pema Lingpa revealed his last and final treasure in 1513 at Samye in Tibet. Because of time constraint, I would like to go to the conclusion. Pema Lingpa's introduction of a new sub-school under the Nyingma lineage has been the main attraction for the Buddhist devotees, and monasteries established by him played a significant role for the clergy in Bhutan at his time. Although the role of his legacy and the contribution are often viewed as the propagation of Buddhism in Bhutan, however, they are simply limited to Buddhist teachings. In Bhutan, from the secular viewpoint, his contribution have remarkably served as such as of economic development and prosperity, expansion of relationships with the neighboring countries. The reincarnation of the Pema Lingpa's lineage has been upheld by 3 masters, Thalung Sungtil, Peling Tukse, and Gante Tuko. As a form of return, each of the reincarnated masters has maintained the teaching of the Buddha in the country. These lineage holder masters are known as the reincarnation of Pema Lingpa, Pema Lingpa's son Tukse Dawa Gelsen, and Pema Lingpa's grandson Gese Pema Chile. They are regarded as the most venerated master in Bhutan. Thus, the great spiritual and secular activities that have initiated by Pema Lingpa have been maintained and continuously flourished by his reincarnated masters in Bhutan up to date. Thank you. Thank you for your time.